Let's see. You should look good right about there. Oh, hi there. D21 Beast Rob here, just checking out my action figure collection. As an action figure collector, it's really cool for me to be able to sit back and look at all the different versions of a character we've received over the years, whether it be from Toy Biz or Hasbro or Diamond Select, really just any version of the same character. Every toy company has their own way of handling things. In fact, with the new Doctor Strange movie that just came out, I thought now would be a really cool time to kind of chart the history and the looks of the Doctor Strange action figure over the years. There's a whole host of changes that we can observe, starting with figures like the 1996 Doctor Strange figure from Toy Biz, leading all the way to the Marvel Legends Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Doctor Strange we just received from Hasbro this year. So sling on that cape of levitation, grab that wand of Watum, and shine that Eye of Agamotto. We're about to take a trip through history. This is Collector Chronology, Doctor Strange Edition. Dating back to 1996, we have the first modern version of a Doctor Strange action figure, part of the Spider-Man the Animated Series line of figures created by Toy Biz. This Doctor Strange figure was part of the Spider-Wars wave of action figures. His design is based on his appearance in the first episode of Season 3 of Spider-Man the Animated Series, entitled Doctor Strange. He featured 10 points of articulation, a bit progressive for the year he released. He scales in at right at 5 inches, pretty standard for figures of the era. And like every Toy Biz figure from the 90s, this Doctor Strange figure comes with an action gimmick. He has the mystical morphing cape. Through the use of a prehensile wire in the base of his cape, you can pose Doctor Strange to look like he's levitating in the air. Moving ahead 4 years, we got our next Doctor Strange figure in the year 2000. This Doctor Strange figure was once again created by Toy Biz, and he was part of the Marvel History The Dark Side line of figures. The Dark Side line of figures was an unusual line for Toy Biz, featuring mostly horror-themed characters. The relative obscurity of most of the figures in this line likely explains their status as a specialty store exclusive line of figures. This Doctor Strange figure is actually a complete repaint of the 96 Spider-Man Doctor Strange figure we just looked at, but he's notable for being the first time that we've seen a Doctor Strange repainted in his comic book astral form. Though that will not be the last time we see this technique applied to Doctor Strange figures in this chronology. A rather peculiar inclusion with this Doctor Strange figure is a repurposed base that actually came from a 1998 Marvel's Most Wanted X-Man figure. This base would also be reused for the Marvel Legends Series 2 Human Torch figure, and like with the Human Torch, this base doesn't really fit the Doctor Strange figure that it's been packaged with. But hey, if the mood strikes you, I recommend posing this base with the 96 Doctor Strange action figure, and it makes for a pretty nice spellcasting effect. Jumping ahead 5 years brings us to the next Doctor Strange figure, the Marvel Legends Galactus Wave Doctor Strange, released by Toy Biz. This is actually the first Doctor Strange figure released by Toy Biz that does not feature any action gimmicks. Instead, Toy Biz designed their Marvel Legends figures with the collector in mind. This Doctor Strange figure features 35 points of articulation, the most of any Doctor Strange figure to date, even if that means indulging in somewhat pointless toe articulation. This Doctor Strange figure was the first to be produced in a 6-inch scale, and the design of this figure was actually based on the classic comic book appearances of the Master of the Mystic Arts. Another notable for this Doctor Strange, he was part of the inaugural Build-A-Figure line of Marvel Legends figures. A feature that saw Toy Biz remove display stands from their Marvel Legends figures and replace them with the piece of a larger action figure. A marketing strategy that continues to thrive with the Marvel Legends line even through today. In 2007, the license to create Marvel action figures passed from Toy Biz to industry giant Hasbro. And 2010 would see the release of the first fully articulated Hasbro Doctor Strange figure. Featuring 21 points of articulation, fewer than we saw with the previous entry on this list from Toy Biz, this new Marvel Universe Doctor Strange was also created in a smaller scale than Marvel Legends had previously been. Due in part to the rising cost of plastic at the time, Marvel Universe figures now scaled at roughly 4 inches across the entire line. A single carded release wasn't your only way to obtain this figure. In 2012, Hasbro would later repaint this figure and package him with Silver Surfer as part of the Greatest Battles Wave 8 line of Marvel Universe figures. This comic book 2-pack referenced the Defenders superhero team that Doctor Strange was once part of, and not to be confused with the Marvel Netflix series of the same name coming in 2017. Finally, this version of Doctor Strange even received his own astral form variant figure molded in a translucent plastic. The second overall version of Astral Doctor Strange we had received up till this point. Moving now from a small Doctor Strange figure to the smallest Doctor Strange on this list, we have the Minimates Strange Tales box set released by Diamond Select in 2013. The Doctor Strange in this box set features 14 points of articulation, impressive when you consider his 2.5-inch size. The box set he comes in is actually named after the original appearance of Doctor Strange in comic book history, Strange Tales number 110 from July of 1963. And though this may be the definitive version of Doctor Strange in Minimates form thus far, the first Doctor Strange Minimate figure we received was actually part of a box set that was released in 2007. A box set once again based off of that classic superhero team, the Defenders. And now we go from the smallest version of Doctor Strange to the largest version available, 2015's Marvel Select Doctor Strange, released by Diamond Select Toys. This Doctor Strange stands in the 7-inch scale and features only 20 points of articulation. Here, Diamond Select chooses to emphasize design over posability, with paintwork and sculpting rivaling or arguably even surpassing the best efforts we've seen from companies like Toy Biz with their Marvel Legends Doctor Strange figure, and a highly detailed display base pulled straight out of the comic books. But this wasn't the only Doctor Strange figure we'd receive in 2015. Hasbro decided to revisit the character with their Marvel Legends Hulkbuster wave of figures. And for the first time, we received a Doctor Strange figure in a brand new costume. Adapted from 2012's New Avengers issue 34, this new Marvel Now era costume was the same look that Doctor Strange adopted when he reclaimed the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme from Dr. Voodoo. However, despite changing things up and sporting his brand new comic book accurate design, many collectors bemoan the fact that this Doctor Strange figure didn't include his characteristic Cloak of Levitation or Eye of Agamotto. In hindsight, it seems Hasbro might have been listening to the collector community, but before addressing those concerns, Hasbro decided to re-release this Doctor Strange figure in their 2015 San Diego Comic-Con Book of the Vishanti box set. The Doctor Strange here, however, was repainted and remolded in a translucent blue plastic, giving us our third Astroform Doctor Strange figure to date. This same box set would also introduce the first Marvel Legends Dormammu figure, a figure that Hasbro would quickly revisit and repaint in 2016 with their Dormammu wave of Marvel Legends action figures. And it would be this Dormammu wave of action figures that would serve to tie into Doctor Strange's Marvel Cinematic Universe film debut. But first, remember that Hulkbuster wave Doctor Strange figure that raised some concerns with collectors? Well, Hasbro has seemingly offered us a make good on their 2015 effort, with a brand new Marvel Now Doctor Strange figure, this time with a newly sculpted cloak, updated forearm sculpts, and even some newly colored magic effects to go along with the green ones we received last time. Also, it's worth noting that Hasbro's sculpted design for this cape allows for a greater range of mobility for the action figure versus what we saw back with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Doctor Strange several years ago. Now, typically you might think one Doctor Strange figure in a Marvel Legends wave is enough to satiate the appetite of any fan of the mystic arts, but with a brand new movie in theaters, Hasbro didn't skip the opportunity to give us 2 more Doctor Strange figures as part of this wave. The first was naturally an action figure designed to match the likeness of actor Benedict Cumberbatch and the costume he wore through most of the film Doctor Strange. He features a removable Cloak of Levitation and Eye of Agamotto, as well as some interchangeable hands. And not to be outdone by his 2 previous comic book entries in this chronology, Hasbro has even included a movie-accurate spell effect. And at this point, if history has taught us anything, it's that toy makers don't miss an opportunity for a repaint, as the third and final Doctor Strange figure from this wave is his astral form. This Doctor Strange does not feature the removable cape of the standard version or the interchangeable hands, but he does retain his Eye of Agamotto accessory. Curiously though, of the 4 Astral Form Doctor Strange action figures we've looked at in this chronology, this movie variant is the first and only one that has been created in a pinkish hue versus the standard blue or whitish colored plastic we've seen utilized in years before. And with this final figure, we end our chronology where we began, with a new media action figure tie-in. But the magic doesn't stop there. With Minimates and a Marvel Select figure based on the new Doctor Strange film coming next month in December, as well as future Marvel films on the way, you can rest easy knowing the end of Doctor Strange action figure production is far from over. But that's where we're going to have to end our chronology for today. You don't stand a chance against the master of the mystic arts. Get back, I say. Oh hey, thanks for joining me today, toy fans. It's been a lot of fun to sit back and look at the different versions of Doctor Strange we've received from different toy companies over the years. Everybody's got their own way of doing it, and I think it's fun to sit back and look and compare them all like we did today. And you know what? I had so much fun doing this video, I might just do this again sometime soon. But let me know, guys, if you like what I'm doing here, leave a comment below, tell me what your favorite version of Doctor Strange was. And be sure to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast. And we'll see you guys next time.